Hey, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you guys. It is Monday, August 3rd. I'm your buddy Choppadong, and this is the MLB Rundown. I'm going to go through Monday through Friday, most days. I'm going to go through and knock out, trim the fat off the slate for you guys, give you the best plays on paper. You're going to decide what you want to do with those, whether you want to eat the chalk or be a little bit contrarian, but I'm going to show you the fastest way to trim the slate and get right down to business. So let's dive in. As always, I represent DFSArmy.com. I am a coach and contributor inside here. I also am a massive research nerd. I love parsing through a slate and picking out the best games. If you want that for every single sport, whether it be NHL, NBA, MMA, whatever you play, you're going to want to become a VIP inside DFSArmy.com. Head down to the comments section, click the link, use the coupon code CHOP for a 20% off discount, and unlock every sport, every tool, every coach that we have to offer that makes you a better player each and every day. While you're down there, like and subscribe the video, ring the little notification bell, and let's dive into MLB for August 3rd. I go to the research station and I kick onto the starting pitching tab. I kick off the games that are not on the main slate, so I'm only looking at the one slate. I go to K-score for pitchers. I sort by descending order. I'm bringing all of the high strikeout matchups up to the top of the page here today. I'm trying to think in terms of FanDuel or DraftKings or whatever it is, whatever site you want to focus on. You might pay up for one big pitcher on FanDuel. You might play for two slightly less expensive pitchers on DraftKings. But whatever it is you're trying to do, another thing that's just popped into my head, you might even add up these K-scores. And 633 plus 435 would be over 1,000, but so is 540 and 515. So you might actually use that to determine your two DraftKings pitchers. That'd be a fun experiment to try. But really what I'm trying to do is find the best in terms of Vegas odds, price point, and K-score. And I'm looking at the guys up here at the top because they're the ones that have got the big strikeout matchups. If I scroll all the way over to the Vegas information, let's see if it's in there for this morning. There it is. We've got a 300, a 180, a 150, and a 245 all the way down here on Lewis Thorpe. So I'm going to try to find the K-scores in that range. We've already got it sorted. So these are the guys up here towards the top, 180 and above for Frankie Montas and his buddies. I see the 500 and above is usually the number I stick to. Not that I would automatically cross off a 498 and say that I have to draw the line somewhere, because in daily fantasy sports that line is always fluid. I would still consider them. And I'm looking for the best combination of price point that has Vegas odds to win. Lewis Thorpe, 5,600, big odds to gain the win. If he's going to go deep enough in the game, that's up to you to find out on pitch counts and limited exposure. But you're going to look for somebody like that, somebody like a Frankie Montas with Vegas wins and high up on the K-score chart, or you're going to take the more sure things in the Cole DeGroms and Buehlers out there on the slate. Your call, your decision. But the next step that I'm going to do is go back to W score and sort by ascending order and push all those big numbers down to the bottom here. The red numbers are bad pitchers, typically. They're pitchers that get hit hard. They have a high WOBA against. And they're facing a team today that has a pretty high team WOBA for themselves. So when you've got a team that can hit facing a pitcher that gives up hits, you've got a recipe for a good matchup for the bats. So I scroll all the way back over here and I start looking at those bottom four guys, and I see Minnesota go to the opponent column. Minnesota, New York, Colorado, Oakland are going to be four of my main stacks. It's just that simple. Why do I need to look anywhere else? Why do I need to dig any deeper? I can go searching BVP, which is great. I can add those players into the mix as one-offs, but these are the teams that I'm looking to stack. Some slates it's 5 or 6 or 7 teams. Some slates it's only 2 or 3. But these are the teams most likely to contribute as a unit. And that's what I'm looking for. Yes, there are going to be outliers. Somebody like San Diego might blow up for 13 runs today. That's baseball. It happens. But generally speaking, stack the odds in your favor. Focus on these teams. Not everybody's going to be on Oakland today. Not everybody's going to be on the Minnesota Twins today. A lot will obviously be on Colorado. So it's going to be a chalkier stack. Tip to you. If you take a chalky stack, a big 4 or 5 man stack, depending on the site you play on, and it's the chalk team like Colorado, surround it with a secondary stack of off chalk people like Oakland, like even San Francisco, like the Chicago White Sox who are on a tear right now. Somebody like that is going to be a little bit lower owned that could still go off. If the chalk wins, at least you've got a piece over there that is going to differentiate you from the crowd as well. That's how you get up on tops of these leaderboards. These are the things that we coach inside DFSArmy.com all the time. These little tips and these little tidbits can't be done in one read-all book. It comes out over time. That's why you need to be a VIP for a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, 3 years, whatever it is, to keep asking the questions and keep getting the answers to the questions that you have as you grow and learn as a player. When we kick back over to the batting matchups tab, very simple. I go right back to the W score page here, and I sort by descending order. I'm bringing individual bats to the top now. This is where I'm going to find my one-offs. I'm also going to look really quickly and make sure that the team stacks in here are also what I've already been looking at. Minnesota and Colorado popping all over the place. Not a shock, right? So these are the players that I'm going to be looking to play as one-offs outside of those stacks or as team stacks inside the big bulk of my lineups. Very simple. Minnesota and Colorado get a bump, but remember Oakland and who else was the other one? New York or whatever was in there as well. Now, I can go sorting by W score as individual bats and bring all the catchers up to the top simply by clicking on that number. I've got Garver, Wolters, Grandal, McCann, whatever. I can scroll over here and I can design a hard cutoff. If I wanted to, I can even use a number filter. Come over here, I can say greater than or equal to, say, 525. That's my number. I don't know why it's giving me a negative here. 525, thank you. Now, anything with a 525 WOBA score and higher is going to be well. That's the W score of the actual player himself versus the pitcher he's matching up against. Again, it's not a team number, though. This one is actually a player number. So these would be the catchers I would consider. There's 5 of them for you. I'm not saying I won't consider the other guys at all. I'm saying I'm going to key on these guys. I don't even, with a filter, I don't even need to look at the W score anymore. I can see this is a deeper position, a lot of guys over the 525 mark. If I wanted to tighten it up even more, I could go over 550, cut out more guys, go over 580, and really get to the cream of the crop. But I'm looking at about the top 3 or 4 guys here that I would boost in any optimizer and boost his projections. More likelihood of having a good day. Sano, Murphy, Double E, Matt Olson, etc. I go do the same thing at second base. Thin position. I'm looking to pay up on my thinner positions because I can find my value elsewhere. I can find my value in my deeper positions. So I'm going to pay up where the productivity is scarce. And that's how I'm going to roster better lineups. I go to my third base page, should be a little deeper, not too bad. Donaldson, Bryant, Suarez, Chapman, McNeil. There you go. Run to shortstop, should get a little shallower. It didn't today. See, day to day things change. Usually second base and shortstop and catcher are pretty thin. Today, shortstop's actually pretty deep for the shortstop spot. Baez, Polanco, Simeon, Corey Seager, and Fernando Tatis Jr., who should also have a pretty high WOBA score, a 539. Not terrible. Come back over to outfield. Obviously, that one's always deep. Boom, it shoots all the way off the page. So you can scroll down and you can put these guys into your optimizers too. They're all in pretty good spots. We don't know which one's going to have the big day. There's no way to know that. We're hitting a round ball with a round bat and the guy is throwing at our head. It doesn't really matter. You mix and match, make a few different lineups, make 3 lineups, make 20 lineups, make 150 lineups. It doesn't matter. We can handle any and all of that at DFSArmy.com. The trick is your contest selection, and we'll talk about that in our VIP rooms. Your contest selection, maybe you do better making 3 lineups and playing smaller contests. Maybe you like the MME approach and you want to really go for the whole grand prize of turning a nickel into $1,000. That's totally up to you. We can help you with any format you want to chase, any format you want to play. And this is just one way of going through the data and showing you how quickly and how easily you can use our tools to then go into the optimizers, tweak the optimizers to your liking, and then produce winning competitive lineups. You can play with the sharks using DFS Army tools. I'm Chapadong. I'll come back at you guys tomorrow. We'll do the same thing again. You'll see that it's a routine. Very, very simple. Easy in, easy out. Let's go win some money today, guys. Take care.